The official pod is presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport. Bet together at WynnBET. Eric Allen here at One Jets Drive with Jets tight ends coach Ron Middleton. So great to see you again, sir.
Good to see you too, E.
So what's the process like when you guys get a new offensive coordinator? Obviously, Robert Saleh and company make the change at the end of the year. Mike LaFleur explores other opportunities, eventually lands with the Rams. But when Nathaniel Hackett is selected as the guy, what happens for you?
The first thing is hopefully I get to stick on and to stick around.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, Nathaniel and I go way back, so a little different for me in that I know the guy, I know him personally. I know his quirkiness and whatnot, but also know he's dare I say he's a really good offense coordinator. Really good offense coordinator. He's very smart, innovative, hard-nosed, but he presents it in a way that makes it easy for the players to understand. There's some rhyme and reason to, even to the point of how we call it. I mean,
right.
You would think that would be important, but a lot of times that's overlooked, you know. So for me, I was hoping that it was him that got the job because of our history, I guess.
Right.
You know.
So let's talk about your history.
Okay.
You go back to Jacksonville together, right? Any time before that?
Yes, we could go all the way back to Gruden and Tampa.
Okay. Yeah.
He was a QC assistant wide receiver coach, and that's being very generous. I think Coach Mann, Richard Mann, the wide receiver coach, just allowed him to be in the room, you know. But that's where he cut his teeth there in Tampa, and we go all the way back there. So it's.
What was he like as a young guy cutting his teeth and just getting his start in the league? Obviously, his father was the offensive coordinator here.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And he was actually a consultant, a quarterback coach there also at Tampa.
Yeah.
So I call him Coach. You know, Nathaniel is Nathaniel, but that's Coach Hackett. You know, energetic, smart. You knew he was gonna go far in this business. Even way back then, I mean, it was the writing was on the wall. So I'm not surprised with any of the success that he's had.
But then the next stop, how many years together were you guys?
At Jacksonville?
Yeah.
I want to say 4 years together.
Yeah.
At Jacksonville, I think 4. He was offensive coordinator for a year and a half there, I think. But he was I want to say quarterback coach or whatnot the other couple of years there.
Yeah, can you talk about you both were on the staff that had that run at the AFC Championship game, correct?
Yes, we did. Yes, we were.
Can you talk about his work, because it's been well publicized, the work he's done with Aaron, and we'll get to Aaron in a couple moments, but maybe the work he did with the personnel there. Blake Bortles was the quarterback, and there was a balanced offense there, but you guys had a lead in the AFC Championship game in New England against the Patriots.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We always say we were a quarter, give or take, away from the Super Bowl, and you know I can't publicly tell you my disgust, you know, with what happened in the game, but I don't want to be fined.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're not going to find you here.
It's well documented. You can just look at the tape, you know. They called a touchdown back on us, you know. They took a turnover away from us. It was really, really bad.
How often do you think about that?
Very often.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do. For that team, everything came together for us. You know, the offense, I think we led the league in time of possession. I think we led the league in rushing. Which coincided with the defense. The nickname was Saxonville, because we had some great pass rushers on there, but they got a chance to do just that, rush the passer, because by the time the opposing team got the ball, they were usually behind and not a lot of time left and having to throw, which fell right into our defense's hands. Right. Special teams were top categories, several categories. So everything worked together. It was a great chemistry, and we had all the makings for getting to the Super Bowl. And like I said, we were a quarter or so away from it.
But what does it say about Hack specifically that he had that success with a guy like Bortles?
He knew how to use him. Yeah. Blake, it's well documented that Blake isn't or wasn't the most accurate passer. But what he did bring to the table was a grit and toughness second to none. He was a football player. And so the plan, we had RPOs for him, to carry the ball. We had play action. Leonard Fournette, we rode that horse. That was when he was a youngster. So we rode that horse and set up the play action, and then Blake would do the keepers and nakeds and the RPOs, like I said. That it was a very, very balanced. I think he used all his weapons,
right?
And that helped Blake out. That really did. We didn't ask him to just drop back and throw it 50 times a game, but we made our chunks and, like I said, a little bit over a quarter away from the Super Bowl.
Man, that was a crazy playoffs because I remember, I think, opening weekend, you hosted Buffalo.
We hosted Buffalo, that's right.
It was somewhat of an ugly game unless you like defensive football. I think that final was 9-6, and then the next week you're in Pittsburgh. I think that final was like 45-42.
That's right. We had beaten them earlier in the season there in Pittsburgh, and then to go back in the playoffs and beat them in Pittsburgh, that was outstanding. It was good stuff, man. Yeah. It was good stuff.
Speaking of good stuff, what's it been like for you guys here in the early stages of implementing the Hackett system? And can you talk about maybe the parallels to the system that you ran in 2022? It's the same family, but also can you speak to Hackett as far as what you said before about matching his system to his personnel?
Yeah. The system is basically the West Coast system. That's what we were doing. I mean, it was versions of it, but like you said, all of them are branches of that West Coast system. Hack, when he does install, he goes back to the days when his dad worked with at San Francisco with Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh, yes.
The original, the West Coast offense. Where they were implementing or installing these plays way back then. Seeing Jerry Rice or Brent Jones, at tight end run these plays or whatnot. So it's all connected. Nathaniel puts his spin on it, and he's modernized a couple of things, a couple of formations. They didn't do a lot of motion back then, so we got a little motion now. But understanding, I think more than anything, he understands it's not so much what he knows or what he can do, it's what the players, what they can learn. And what they can do once they get on the grass.
You played in the league for more than a decade.
Yeah, 10 years.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been coaching for a long time, starting out in the college ranks.
That's right.
What was your reaction when you heard that the trade was finalized? The Jets were getting a future Hall of Fame quarterback to
Yeah.
lead this ship in Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I've had run-ins with, well, not run-ins. I mean, I bumped shoulders with him, with Aaron. Before, it was always cordial. He always called me by my name. He knew me, which I thought was a big deal. Aaron Rodgers knows my name, knows my face, or whatnot. So I was to say I was excited would be an understatement. It's I will accept the expectations that come along with that, because I know that we will work to get the pieces around him to be the sharpest that they can possibly be. After being with him for the last 3 weeks, I think I've never been around a quarterback like him.
So why, in your mind, has he been so effective? This 18-year run in Green Bay is just unbelievable. Again, the history of this game. He's one of the best players ever.
Yeah. He's, first of all, he's talented. He's got a lot of talent, man. To see him make some of those throws. Saw one today. We was installing earlier, and was showing clips of him, and he made this throw, some type of just a dime right there. Hit if it had been a spear to hit the receiver in the throat, it was right on target. So first of all, he's talented. He's very smart. And he's been in this system that there's a lot to say with familiarity, for familiarity. He knows the system. He's done it all. He's seen everything that someone could possibly give him. And, I think he utilizes his weapons. So all that, to me, equals successful. What, 18 years? Did you say
18 years?
18
yeah.
years,
4-time NFL MVP.
How about that?
The best touchdown to interception ratio of anybody who's ever played.
Wow.
Jets fans, we're in our final push and the clock is ticking. WynnBET is giving you a golden opportunity to win VIP prizes for the 2023 season. The WynnBET Green Room is the most exclusive space at the stadium with all-inclusive food and beverage, lower-level seats, and appearances by Jets legends and celebrities. New Jersey customers, all you need to do is wager at least $100 on WynnBET Sportsbook or Casino. For New York customers, all you need to do is wager at least $100 on WynnBET's Sportsbook. The best part? You get an entry for every $100 you wager.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you sense, because we see him at a podium or we see him doing interviews, you see him in a totally different light, behind closed doors, in meeting rooms, on the field. Do you sense a genuine excitement about being here?
I do. I think I don't know him personally.
Right.
Like I said, he's known my face and called me by my name, but I've never sat down and had a beer with him or had a extended conversation with the guy
Or scotch with him. He's like, I guess he likes scotch too.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's not. I don't know. What about stogies? Will he smoke a cigar too?
I bet you he would with you. Yes.
Outstanding, but he got me off track. Not thinking about stogies and scotch.
What he is with
in the
you,
meeting room.
yeah.
In the meeting room, you got to be on your P's and Q's. He questions everything, or if there's a better way to say it. He tries to use that better way, on the field. If there's a way he wants a route to be run or whatnot, then he'll sit there and he'll tell them, and it's just instant credibility coming from the guy. The players look. I told my tight ends, I said, hey, if this guy tells you something or tells you how to do something, do it, okay? and then come tell me so I'll know so I can reaffirm what he says.
Right.
You know, it's his show, man. It's his show. He's earned that, and he's been out there. He's been out there with these guys, teaching, working with them, doing the sprints with them, and I think they appreciate that. You know, a whole lot. It's Aaron freaking Rodgers, man, you know.
It is Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Yeah.
Do you expect to be in this position when Saleh brought you on board in 21?
Mm-hmm.
That did you have obviously you have confidence in him, but as far as like a timetable, 21, you guys embrace this youth movement and you go 4-13. The next year, 22, you start out 7-4. You know, I've made the argument multiple times here on the pod that you guys would have been a playoff team had not health failed you, and then obviously inconsistency at the quarterback position, 7-10 overall, but nearly doubled your win total last season. And now here we are. People are looking at the Jets and saying, you know, that's a championship contender.
Yeah. We got a chance. I'll say that. We got a chance. I'm not stamping anything right now, but we got a chance. We got a legitimate chance to do something special. I think with the combination of youth, I think with the you know, Aaron Rodgers brings a whole different element immediately to everything that you do. But you know, the defense top one of the top defenses in the league last year. We did have some highlights. We came close to a lot of things. I mean, we were closer than what our record showed last year.
Yeah.
And I emphasized last year, you know, this is a whole different deal. A new, you know, we got some questions to answer. Offensive line, you know, we've got to shore that up. Couple of guys, Brees, you know, coming off of injury, you know, he's a weapon that we're counting on. You know, Garrett and the receiving core, you know, let's take another step forward. So that, yeah, we would much rather be in this position. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not po-mouthing. I'm just trying to be realistic about it all. But, you know, we still got to go out and do it, you know, and there's still some things that has to fall in place for us to be where we want to be. You know, we got to avoid those injuries, you know, and I know injuries are a part of it, but I bet if you go back and you look at the successful teams, the most successful teams historically in this league have been the most healthy teams in the league.
Yeah.
In and out each and every year. So, I mean, that's the big thing. Let's be healthy. The Saleh will get them in that team mentality. I have no doubt about that. We will be prepared. We'll go about it in a smart manner. Put guys in the right spots or whatnot, but you know, like I said, there's still some things have to come together for us to get it done, and you know that's part of the NFL.
Let's talk about your group.
Okay.
Tyler Conklin comes in, 58 receptions in year one.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to see from Tyler in his second year with the Jets, but more importantly, first year with Aaron Rodgers? First year under Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, first of all, I want to see him healthy. You know, he had this abdominal deal or some deal that he's nursing right now. So that's first and foremost to get him healthy. Once that's the case, then he's what he brings to the table is something that Nathaniel will utilize, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to love the guy, you know.
What do you think Rodgers is going to love about that skill set?
He's an explosive route runner, you know, in his world, in that 10 to 12 yard range, he's got some quicks and some explosiveness that can really take advantage of that underneath coverage. He does have enough speed to stretch the field. He has a nice little knack for getting in the seams. I know Aaron likes the deep ball and whatnot. He'll be a viable weapon for him in that aspect. But the 12 to 15 yard range, like I said, he's got some quickness and explosiveness to create mismatches in that box area there.
What about CJ Uzomah? I mean, you guys, I don't want to put a percentage on how much 12 personnel that you guys used last year. And, I think when people think about the two, they're thinking more about Conklin's maybe pass receiving exploits, and then maybe CJ is more of your typical blocker.
Well, I wouldn't categorize it like that, but I will say I think we ran a lot of 12 personnel last year, and rightfully so. If you put that much money in a room, I would hope that you get them out on the field, and I'm not counting anybody's money. I ain't saying that, but I think we purposely tried to use them, because of that fact, and also because they were good football players.
Yeah. And
you're trying to get your best 11 out on the field. Both of them definitely was part of our best 11. And then with Brees getting hurt last year, that took an element. We tried to do some things with that personnel grouping to put some more playmakers on the field, if you will. Hopefully we can build on that. Hell, I'd like to go 13 personnel myself.
Of course you would.
So, we're working for that. I don't know how I'm gonna get that done, but we're gonna do what we do. We will talk about the tight end position, and we will make plays when our number is called. And I just hope we're on speed dial for them.
Yeah. I mean, CJ was not as busy as Tyler, but when he did have those receptions, a lot of those ended up being big plays.
Big plays. That's big play CJ. He was dealing with some nagging injuries last year also. He finally got in a groove, got healthy and got in a groove, which helped and could feature him more or more specific things for him. But yeah, he's the jack of all trades. CJ is. He's going to give you everything he's got. Nobody plays harder than him. Nobody. He's very smart. He can do a lot of different things. He's a big body. So there's a reason why he's been in the league as long as he has, and he's respected as much as he's respected.
People forget about Jeremy Ruckert. He was a rookie last season who was dealing with some physical ailments himself early on in his career. Coach Sala had high praise for him last December before the season ended. Do you expect him to make that jump now?
I do. He's we've talked about that. If what he put on tape, the Miami game, was outstanding. I think that that performance going into the off season really put him in a great place mentally.
Give him a lot of confidence, right?
A lot of confidence. And he has visual evidence now of, hey, I can do this, and I can do this at a high level. And that's just scratched the surface of what this kid brings to the table, man. He's smart. He's tough. He's athletic. All the makings, Now we just got to keep him healthy and find his niche. And before long, he's going to be a household name, I think.
So when Joe Douglas tells you that they're going to take Zack Kuntz in the 7th round, what are you thinking? Because Joe talked about the importance of some of these guys late in the draft having the freak factor to them.
Yeah.
And Zack certainly does have that. You're talking about 6'8", 250. runs like a deer, can jump through the gym. And he was very productive in 2021. I mean, I know injury cut his season short in 2022, but what do you like about him?
You've stated several of them. At the combine, and just a little, we get reports from the combine of their workouts and everything. Right. The 3-cone drill, the vertical, the 40, all these bench press, all this stuff. And if they're good, those numbers are good. They're usually in green. They're average. They're in a beige type color. And then if they're really bad, it's really red. There's some of that out there too.
Sure.
Well, Zack Kuntz, every statistical deal he had, from the broad to the 3-cone, the bench press even, the bench was green. Everything was green. He was, I tell you what, he put on a show. His workout at the combine, he definitely put on a show. And he's 6'8". One thing you didn't mention is he's really, really smart. He's really, really smart. And, I told him, and when I gave my evaluation of him, I said, well, he definitely won the interview. Of all the guys I interviewed,
really?
he was the best interview. Yeah, because he talked a good game now. He talked a good game about, how tough he is, and he said all the right things and all that. So we're going to put that to the test. We're going to put that to the test now. That's what I want to see. All that running around in shorts and everything, that's all good, and that's necessary, and that's a part of it. But, we don't play football in shorts and pajamas and T-shirts, There's some plastic. There's some plastic on there, and regardless, it's not as physical as it used to be, but it's still a physical game, and we got to bring it. So I'm sure he will.
How much you like this room? And obviously I could ask you about Kenny as well, but it just seems like you got a good group of guys, and there's a lot of versatility there.
A lot of versatility. First of all, these guys are made up. Every one of them is made up of the right stuff, inside. They're professional. They're professionals. They want to be good. They want to be great. I think they see the potential of the team aspect of it, they all about team. Maybe we're asked to pass protect a little more now than we are to run corner route or whatnot. I don't see them guys complaining. Well, not much. They will complain to me, but sure. It's gonna be team first. And I think it starts with that. I think that's one of the prerequisites of the guys we bring in, not just in the tight end room, but what his vision of this team. He want to have good citizens first and foremost, and he want team guys. And if we get that, then we definitely got a chance to build on something positive.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting season. And listen, you have a lot of fans out there. We talked about that before, not only from what you did in Mobile, leading the squad to victory, but obviously beating your old team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, when Robert Saleh was down, and everybody recites the line. I've seen a couple T-shirts out there about everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody
wants to die.
Right. You got any of those T-shirts yourself or no?
They're in my locker. My wife has them, whatnot.
Okay.
I would never wear one, but I can get you one if you don't have one.
Yeah, I definitely want that. I'm going to take you up on that.
Okay.
Real quick though, you are a leader. You are a successful coach. The NFL last year, you were part of a program, a front office accelerator program. As we start the 2023 season, there are 3 black coaches in the National Football League for the 5th consecutive year.
Okay.
Do you think a program like that is ultimately going to help where the league should be?
I hope so. There's a lot of good things with that program. I don't know if I told you, but just to be, it gave me and everyone that was there with me participating in it last year. It gave me a chance to be around the owners in a different light.
Yeah.
I got to see some guys that I only have seen from afar, talking about owner-wise, that, once I talked to them, I mean, they're just regular people. We joked, we laughed, we had some serious conversation. I worked for Shad Khan, 7 years at the Jaguars, and that was the most time he and I spent together one-on-one. At that Accelerator deal. Yeah, it was a cocktail get-together.
Yeah.
And he and I talked for a long time. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff. And that was the most time I spent with him of all the time that I like I said, I worked for him for 7 years. So I think it's a good thing. There was some a lot of positives that came out of it. And I think they start up again next year. They asked me if I wanted to go back this year, and I was like, I do, but I would like to see some of the other coaches get an opportunity to experience that. I've experienced it. I've gone through it. Now let's spread it around. Let somebody else go now. So
you're a guy who stays in the moment, and you're going to approach each day like that. But have you ever let your mind wander and say, "Hey, I know I can do this. I'd like to do it someday myself"?
Oh, no question.
Yeah,
no question. Yeah, that's that is a goal. I mean, but. I'm at my age and my time. That
you're a young guy. Don't be talking about your age around here.
I'm just saying though that I'm gonna need some definitely. I mean, we all need this, but I'm gonna definitely need some divine intervention. It's gonna be a unique situation.
Yeah.
That allows me to get the opportunity. I think based on the requirements or the pathway that they you have to take right now to get that opportunity. So do I think I can do it? No, I know I can do it.
Right.
And I think I would do a hell of a job with it too. But like I said, I'm gonna at this point or this stage in my career, it's gonna be a unique situation, because. I'm not going to be a coordinator, and right now that's the route that they're taking. There has been position coaches that have gotten an opportunity, but not many. And
it's interesting. When I started here with the Jets was 2001,
mm-hmm.
and my previous year in the NFL was with Tampa in 2000, and the secondary coach was Herm Edwards.
Okay.
Herm Edwards got hired by Woody Johnson here as head coach, and he took the route from defensive backfield coach. Yeah, because Herm was never a coordinator.
He was never a coordinator.
Right.
Yeah. So that's one, and
I was just saying that's the top of my head.
No doubt. Yes. It can happen, no question.
Yeah.
That's where that divine intervention comes in.
Yeah.
So.
But the other thing is, if you guys have success as a staff here,
mm-hmm.
which everything is pointed in that direction,
sure.
Like they're going to end up picking a couple guys off the staff to be head coaches.
Yeah.
Because that's part of this. Just like Robert was successful under Kyle, and he gets a head coaching job.
That's right.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator,
true.
So, Nathaniel's offensive coordinator. He was head coach last year.
Yep.
So, maybe if they want to go,
Yeah.
I'll be more than willing to just put it out there. I'll be more than willing to offer my services to anyone that want to take a chance.
And you loved it, right? In those brief times that you had the opportunity. Like,
yeah, it was outstanding. I had a ball, man. I had a ball. I had a great report to players. I see some of them now. You know, the guys that were in Mobile.
Yeah.
You know, that on different teams around, and they you know, hey, if it's moving, I'm still hitting it, coach. You know, so it was great. Yes, it was great, and I look forward to that opportunity.
well, we always look forward to our next opportunity with Ron Middleton, and hopefully this summer we're going to get that date down. We're going to be
Let's do it, man.
at a golf course near you.
Yeah, love it.